What if managing your business was as simple as sending a message? No opening your software, no jumping between dashboards, no navigation. You just tell ChatGPT what you want done. Let me actually show you. Imagine I'm at an event. I meet someone, we have a good conversation, and before leaving, they hand me their visiting card. Usually, this is where the boring part starts. I need to remember to add them later, open my CRM, create a lead, type in the name, company, phone number, email, choose the right pipeline, and make sure I haven't missed anything. Or, I can just take a picture of the card, upload it to ChatGPT, and say, add this person as a lead in reference. That's it. ChatGPT reads the card, understands the details, and creates the lead directly in reference. No copying, no typing, no, I'll add this when I get back to the office. The lead is already there. Now let's say I don't want this new lead to disappear into the classic black hole of I'll follow up later. I'm already here, so I just say, add a follow up for Friday. Done. I can get back to whatever I was doing, knowing reference has the follow up recorded. A few days later, I speak to the customer again. The conversation goes well. They're genuinely interested, so the lead is no longer just an open inquiry. I come back to ChatGPT and say, move this lead to qualified and add a note that they're interested in this product. Reference updates the lead. Now the CRM actually reflects what happened in the real conversation, without me sitting down later and trying to remember everything. And this is where it starts feeling less like using software and more like simply continuing a conversation. Now, suppose the customer says, okay, send me a quotation. Normally, that means leaving the CRM, going into quotations, finding the customer again, adding the items, and creating the document. Here, I can simply say, create a quotation for this customer. Reference already knows who we're talking about. The quotation gets created. I can review it, share it with the customer, and continue with my day. Then the customer comes back and says, looks good, let's go ahead. Great! I don't need to start from scratch again. I just come back and say, create an invoice for the same customer. And the invoice is created directly in reference. Now that the invoice is ready, the next thing is actually getting it to the customer. Normally, that means downloading the invoice, opening my email, attaching the file, writing the message, and double-checking that I've picked the right document. Here, I can simply say, email this invoice to the customer. Reference takes the invoice I just created and sends it out. No downloading, no attaching, no switching to another app. The invoice moves from being created to actually reaching the customer, right from the same conversation. And once that's done, I can move on, instead of turning a 2-minute task into 5 different clicks across 3 different tools. Then, a few days later, the payment comes in. Maybe they've paid only part of it for now. Again, I don't need to open the invoice, search for the customer, find the payment section, and enter everything manually. I simply say, record 10,000 rupees received against this invoice. Reference records the payment and updates the outstanding amount. So from meeting someone for the first time to converting them into a lead, following up, qualifying them, creating the quotation, raising the invoice, emailing it to the customer, and finally recording the payment, I've barely had to think about where any of these actions live inside the software. But obviously, running a business isn't just about one customer at a time. At some point, I want to zoom out. I want to know what's happening across the business. For example, maybe it's Monday morning and I'm wondering which payments I should start chasing. I can ask, show me all overdue invoices. Reference gives me the invoices that are already past their due date. Now I have the list. But maybe that list is long and I don't want to randomly start calling people from top to bottom. I want to know where the biggest amount of money is actually stuck. So after I've looked at the overdue invoices, I can ask, which customers owe us the most? Now the conversation moves from simply showing me data to helping me decide where I should focus. And that, for me, is the interesting part. I'm not opening one report for overdue invoices, another report for receivables, exporting something to Excel, sorting it, and when trying to figure out what matters. I'm just asking the next natural question. The same way I would ask someone from my finance team. And this works beyond sales and collections too. Say I've had lunch with a client and have just made the payment. I have a payment screenshot sitting on my phone. Instead of saving it somewhere, promising myself I'll record it later, and then finding it again 3 weeks from now, I can upload the screenshot and ask Refrens to record it as an expense. Or maybe a vendor sends me a bill. Same thing. Upload the document, tell ChatGPT what I want done, and get it into Refrens. Then maybe I want to look at inventory. I'm preparing for a large order, and before committing to it, I want to know if anything is running low. So I ask, which inventory items are running low? Reference shows me where I need to pay attention. Maybe one of the products looks unusually low. Now I'm curious about what actually happened to that stock. Instead of leaving the conversation and going hunting through inventory reports, I can ask to see the stock movements for that particular item. Now I can understand what came in, what went out, and what changed. And if I realize I have plenty of the same items sitting in another warehouse, I can take the next step from here too. I can ask Refrens to transfer stock between warehouses. So again, it's not just show me some information. It's show me what's happening, help me understand it, and then let me act on it. All inside the same conversation. And then there's the question almost every business owner has at the start of the day. Okay, what actually needs my attention today? Instead of checking CRM first, then invoices, then payment collections, then inventory, then trying to remember what else I was supposed to check, I can simply ask, what needs my attention today? Reference can bring together the things that matter: overdue invoices, upcoming collections, high-value receivables, low stock alerts, and other areas that may need action. One question gives me a much better starting point for the day. And I can take this one step further. Because even asking that question every morning is still something I have to remember to do. So I can schedule a morning business digest. I can decide what I care about, maybe overdue payments, invoices due soon, large receivables, and critical stock. And every morning, ChatGPT can automatically bring that information to me. So instead of starting my day by searching for problems, I can start my day already knowing what needs attention. This is Refrens MCP. Manage your business directly from ChatGPT or Claude.